Major General John Lejeune commanded the 28,000-man 2nd U.S. Division, including its 4th Marine Brigade at Saint-Mihiel, Blanc-Mont, and the Meuse-Argonne, and later served 9 years as the 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps.
For 4 years, the Germans occupied powerfully fortified hills known as Blanc-Mont Ridge. Many bloody battles had been fought for their possession, and it was believed that this massif was too strong to be carried by direct assault. General Gouraud, commander of the French Fourth Army, wondered if we could take the position. I answered, if the 2nd Division is kept together as a unit and allowed to attack on a narrow front, I am confident that it can take Blanc-Mont Ridge. Our advance to the Somme-Py sector was through a hideously battle-scarred country, shelled and bombed so thoroughly that not a tree was standing. The white chalk soil was pulverized with debris of battle still lying about. Broken cannon and machine guns, partially buried horses, and unrecognizable human faces thrown up to the surface by exploding shells. At H hour, carefully prepared rolling artillery barrages preceded the 3rd and 4th Brigades in a converging attack. It was impossible for our field glasses to penetrate the mist and smoke shells. Suddenly, we gave shouts of joy as one by one we saw signal flares being fired on top of the ridge. A powerfully fortified position had been taken by assault and about 2,000 prisoners captured. During the night, a German regiment successfully counterattacked and reoccupied a formidable strong point on the western portion of Blanc-Mont. On the 2nd morning, the 5th Marines advanced towards Saint-Étienne, but came under heavy machine gun fire from all sides. On October 5th, Major Schuyler's battalion of the 6th Marines followed the artillery barrage so closely that they surprised the entire garrison in their dugouts. The extinction of this hornet's nest was a great blessing. When this war is finished, to be able to say, I belong to the 2nd Division, I fought with it at Blanc-Mont Ridge, will be the highest honor that can come to any man.
The 8-day victory at Blanc-Mont cost the 2nd Division 5,000 casualties, nearly half of them Marines, as Lejeune reported to headquarters.
The Marine Corps has just cause to feel proud of its brigade, but there isn't much left of the original crowd.
Lemuel C. Shepard, Jr., a 21-year-old graduate of the Virginia Military Institute, sailed for France with the 1st contingent of U.S. troops. Serving in the 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, Shepard's rifle company repulsed a German attempt to break through the Marine lines at Le Maire Farm, west of Belleauwood, on 3 June 1918.
I shall never forget the inward thrill to actually be at the front after so many months. Here's the real war, and I'm in it. I selected a little knoll a couple of 100 yards in front of our lines, and I established an outpost out there. 14 men with orders to hold their fire until the enemy was close. I leaned against a tree where I could direct the fire of the men. We could see them advancing towards us. We watched them come on. 1,000 yards, 700, 500. I held our fire. Our sights were set for 300 yards. Then we cut loose. Evidently, the Germans had worked up a machine gun to where it could fire on my outpost. All of a sudden, something hit me in the neck and swung me around, completely around. My first thought was, my God, bullet's gone through my gullet. Funny what you do. I spit in my hand to see if I was spitting blood, but I wasn't. So then I felt relieved. I've often thought that I'm a lucky man to be alive. There were 7 bullet holes in this tree in a space of 18 inches at the height of my head. I just missed my jugular vein by 1/4 of an inch. The next day, the Germans attacked again, and all we had was a thin red line of Marines with a man about every 10 feet apart. A Marine with a rifle. That's all in the hell we had, but we held our lines. When I was shot again in Belleauwood, my little French dog Kiki followed the stretcher bearers. An orderly tried to prevent Kiki from boarding the ambulance with me. I said, either you take my dog or you leave me here.
Shepard rejoined his outfit 2 months later, but the subsequent battle for Blanc-Mont inflicted an 80% casualty rate on his rifle company. Shepard lasted 5 days as the sole surviving officer, until an exploding 77mm cannon shell wounded him in the hip.
The fighting for Blanc-Mont were my worst days of the war. If ever there was a hell on earth, it was up there.
General Shepard commanded a division at Okinawa in World War II, and in 1952 became the 20th Commandant of the Marine Corps.
As they call it, Camp Lejeune. Camp Lejeune.
Or more news tonight, too. New buildings at Camp Lejeune are housing wounded warriors and their families.